Bad, not bad bottom here. Just sending out a tweet and then we can start. How's everyone doing? Fucking tweets not working. But it's a load of shit, man. Yeah, I've got a lot to discuss today. Obviously a decent got a decent move down today. Bear with them, just turn them live. How's the music? Is the music too loud? Shouldn't be too loud. Got a lot of longs piling down here, to be honest. Not a bad place for a reversal entirely. Not a bad place for a reversal. I gotta get used to switching up screens, but that's fine. I think it should be a anchor this. See how this new layout goes. But yeah, not a bad place for a reversal here on BTC. 84k, quite a big level for it. That's what I was working on the other day. Yeah, not a bad place for a reversal, to be honest. 84k, we basically, it's this weekend gap we have. Weekend gaps tend to get left when we trade up or down over the weekend. A pretty common trend for BTC over the past few weeks is that we've seen a move on a Sunday. It tends to be a Sunday. A move on a Sunday which eventually gets repaired in the following week. A lot of the time it repairs maybe on the Tuesday, Wednesday, this time around being a lot later, and then obviously the one that we had back here from March, this was also quite late in getting repaired. So what we had was pretty much an identical move to the one back on Sunday, the 9th of March, where we had basically a Saturday flat, and then on the Sunday this waterfall price action to the downside, and then following that, you know, we eventually bounced back and then closed that sort of weekend gap. Not that week, but the second week. And we basically had the same thing here during this week, right? We had this like low volume, low liquidity Saturday, basically waterfall to the upside, and then, you know, it's been struggling all week with this lack of momentum. Eventually now backfilling that Friday close, and this is healthy, to be honest. This move down to back to the Friday close is healthy. This is what bulls kind of want to see. This move had a lot of imbalance, which I'll show you now. So this move had quite a lot of imbalance. Single prints left here from back on Sunday, and then also the weekend gap as well, like I just stated. So that was a pretty nice long setup into the lows. Actually, I was too busy bloody setting up my stream. I missed that. I was getting everything ready. I think that was a pretty nice long setup into the lows. We had some nice shorts entering into the low and then taking out a lot of longs, followed by a lot of buy liquidity and bids stepping in. I mean, also we had a huge amount of longs step in a couple minutes before I hopped on stream. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out from here, because last night we had a similar thing. Back end of last night we had a huge amount, probably the largest volume I've seen on Bybit and Binance footprint for a while, into the highs, like huge amounts along, and that pretty much topped us out, to be honest. We've been down only since. But you can see there's quite a lot of OI starting to step in here from BTC, so it makes sense. 84k, that we're starting to get some relief from down here again, like I just said, after filling that Friday close. So I'll talk a little bit about BTC on the higher time frame, sort of where I'm looking at price going in the near term, and then potentially also long term as well. What you can see on the screen is down here, this is footprint statistics of quite a low tick chart. So the range 250, I think it's printing should be printing a tick every sort of it's basically based off volatility, and it's printing a new tick from every $25 move on BTC. So what you're seeing here is the delta from every $25 move on BTC, whether that be up or down. And then here is a much larger tick chart, which I pretty much use for spotting reversals. Like I said, there was a pretty nice setup down here into this two-day composite value row high. I can't go that far enough. But now we're starting to see some relief. I think I need to take a look at stocks. I think stocks is pretty important right now. But with regards to the higher time frame, 84k now pretty much is the last line of defense for bulls. If 84k can't hold, then I'm pretty sure we're going to see new lows and new yearly lows on BTC. If we start trading under 84k, then we're most definitely going to go for new lows on BTC. And things could get pretty ugly. Although I'm not too scared about going to low 70s again, because I have spot bids in towards 73k. I think even if we went down to low 70s again, we would remain bullish. We can still remain bullish. For me, my line of bullish invalidation is back under 66. 66k is basically my line. If we start to break under 66k on BTC, then I basically will assume that we've topped out. But for now, personally, I think we can even see something like this. Something like this. This is basically my two scenarios right here from BTC. And that second scenario, right? So this is like scenario one, is that we continue to hold here and we rally. Basically, I'm expecting new highs into May, rallying into April, and then May we see new BTC highs, and I can talk about my reasoning for that shortly. But if we fail to hold here 84k, I'm pretty sure we go to make one more low and then rally. Right now we have pretty nice momentum on the daily to the downside. So yeah, we've got this like first, second low, which was made a divergence. So if we went maybe for one more sweep down here, I would like to see like a third low form on the RSI and the awesome oscillator. And then what we have is this really nice sort of like 3 drive into the low. And I think that would truly bottom us. This scenario would only happen if we don't sort of hold 84k here. So I think 84k is a reasonable place to look for some fresh long positions. I've basically been waiting for this pullback all week. Unfortunately, I didn't get my short fill that I was looking for. I was basically looking for a move this week above like 88 into 89 to do that. Like this move that we've seen, I was basically looking for sort of like a trap, and then I was going to short the trap into the highs to target here. So no plan played out, but unfortunately without giving me my fills. So ideally we continue to hold here for bullish continuation, but so far I'm not exactly impressed with the reaction. I'm starting to just see so yeah, like I said, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens. All week longs have been getting punished. There's been no real upside momentum for long positions. It's been very difficult. Here we can see quite a lot of open interest and delta added on BTC on this recent drive up. So we pretty much, if BTC fails to hold around this region, I think it's probably going to go for a flush. So it's a bit of a battle in the books at the moment. It has been all week, and longs continue to get punished. Basically, here's a good example. Yeah. Basically, we get a bounce, right? We get a bounce, and then you get a ton of longs aping into the highs. Eventually, there's just no momentum, and price rolls over. And it's kind of been the case all week. Again here, longs aping into the highs, get flushed out. Again here, longs aping into the highs, getting flushed out. Like, hasn't massively favored longs this week. People have just been trying to long way too early, and trying to catch price in a very low volume node area, right? Like when you see these sort of gaps in price, this is not where you want to try to be longing. Yeah. You can see like on price, yeah, like how liquid this whole region between 86 to 84 is. Yeah. Initially we broke down through that area, then we scammed back up, we broke back down, then we scammed back up. Like, so anyone that's been trying to long in here has just been getting wrecked, because as soon as we basically break into this sub 86 area, we're destined to go to the opposing side of where volume actually sits, which is this 84k area. Yeah, I'm kind of looking for a long here, to be honest. It makes sense to sort of look for a bit of relief from down here. Pretty large amount of shorts aping into that low as well. You can see, right, this rising the rising open interest here in the delta. Yeah, just to quickly summarize my thoughts, basically we should hold here, right? At least see some sort of relief from here. This is basically the first place I would expect relief from BTC, at least back to like 86k on a bounce, which I'm sort of looking and scouting for a long to take on that front. We can take a long back towards like 86k from here. That seems nice. But overall, like, I feel like we're kind of destined for lower still. You know, maybe not as low as my bids at 73k that I've had for a while, but we don't hold here. You know, you play it level by level. I think failing to hold here would probably lead to a move back down to like 80. And if we can't find support there, then we'll definitely go for my bids. But this is not a great sign, to be honest. And going into sort of Q2 this year, we're going to want to really see how price reacts around this developing quarterly value area low. This is the VWAP, quarterly VWAP value area low. Basically, ever since we lost the Q1 value area low back in February, you can see that we've consistently been failing to get back inside that area. You know, following that, we've seen a pretty harsh sell-off every time, right? So for a real sort of like trend reversal and for us to consider that the bottom is actually in, like, we're really going to want to see a break back above this 86k region and sort of like hold and trade in here, and we can look at targeting 94 and then back to 100. So, you know, we've got 3 days left of the month now. So as we move into Q2 of this year, you're going to really want to pay attention to this prior quarterly value area, the VWAP, the value area low, and also the value area high. This is the Q2 value, and this is going to be really important as we move into Q2 of this year. If we can see some strong acceptance back inside here, we're basically almost guaranteed to go to 94 and then back to 100. But as of right now, I'm not a fan of this deviation, and personally, I think if we do see a relief bounce into 86, it's for shorting. Sorry, I sneeze. So Sol, personally, I think we can sweep 110, and almost definitely if BTC goes for like another move lower, like another leg down on BTC. I think we're basically guaranteed to make new lows on Sol if BTC doesn't hold here. Under these equal lows here on the monthly, the weekly, the daily, these are all equal lows. And again, a similar structure to that BTC setup I was just talking about, right? With the 3 drives into the low, 3 drives into the low, right? On Sol. So yeah, if you get sort of like 110 to 100 on Sol, this is a fantastic buy opportunity. I think as long as we're trading below this developing day value area low, longs are really going to suffer to this area. See the developing day value area low today, right? Oh wait, this is sorry, I was showing. This is developing day value area low. I think as long as we don't trade above there, longs are going to suffer. Like, there's almost 40 mil of longs just entered and almost offside already. It's people continue to get just long and get taken out shortly after. Like, there's very short-lived momentum at the moment. It's not exactly the price action I want to be long in, to be honest. Not yet, anyway. If we sort of get a sweep into this 84 to 83k region and we get a nice trap of shorts, I think that's the sort of setup I'm looking at. But right now, like trying to side with these large long participants that are aping, it's not been playing out this week. It's like discussed. I discussed the weekend gap, didn't I? Discussed that already. Look at the CVD. CVD's increasing, peaks out, gets flushed out. I think max pain for a lot of people would be that like we go like low 70s again, which is what I've been waiting for. But you know, personally, I don't like to say that we'll go. You know, I'm not. I wouldn't like to say that we're going to go 70 from here because you know there's levels that we need to take out before that. It's like the thoughts of the idea of me saying that we're going to go and make new highs in May. Like I think that's entirely possible, but only if we tick off levels on the way up, right? So first is 86k, we need to get above here. 86, 94, if we get above there, then for me, we're almost guaranteed to make a new high in May. So really, we got two levels, right, on BTC that we need to flip to make our way to new highs in May. And it's sort of the same for the downside, right? Like, yes, I do think we could realistically do something like this into April, May. But, you know, from here, first we got this level, we got 84k, got to be logical about it. And then we got, you know, 80k. That's the second level. So from here, if we fail to hold here, we go to our second level. And then if we fail to hold here, then we'd be like, okay, we're going to go 73k. Well, I can get rid of the weekend gap now. We backfilled that. The bummer not to get my short. Tried shorting a couple of times this week. That wasn't really in my favor. And then when I was sort of set on not shorting and only shorting above the highs, you know, we get that roll down. But that's the way things work sometimes. To be honest, I'm not sure that we get much movement. I'm not sure we get much movement in this session. It's been a pretty hot trend right lately for BTC to form these huge imbalances, initial balances, sorry, and then just do nothing for the whole session. I was talking about this in the Discord earlier, but it's been very, very common. So basically, the initial balance of market profile is the first hour of trading, or the first two prints on the TPO. We can see that with that pink area here. But basically, the part like all past four New York Open sessions this week, we either get a huge scam to the downside or to the upside, and then for the whole of New York, we basically do nothing and we just find a balance. So you can see that on here, large imbalance, initial balance, and then we just form a balance. Again, yesterday, got that large initial balance to the downside, and then we also bounce back up, and then we just for that whole session we done nothing. We just bracketed. And then again here on Wednesday, large initial balance, just bracketed for that day until pre-close, and then eventually rallied for Asia. Right, and then again here, large IB, range, massive IB. Basically the whole high and low of that day was made within of that New York session was made within the first hour of trading. So realistically, I'm not massively fussed about trying to time a reversal on this just yet. If we're going off trend and the way the New York session has been trading this week, it's not like, yeah, huge IB, bracket, huge IB, bracket, huge IB, bracket, and then on this is on Monday as well. I don't know if I was showing it, but huge initial balance, then in bracket. Yeah. So if we're going off the trend for the week, like, we haven't really been putting in a reversal or a trend in New York session. So that's another reason why I'm not too fussed about trying to long just yet. Until something shifts, right? Like I said, if we get like a decent trap into here, maybe once we flush this guy out, to be honest. Right now this huge position is underwater. It's like almost 40 milli longs. Now underwater. We're probably gonna see, I wouldn't be surprised if they start going under 84k again, if they start to close out. And then maybe we long once we get a little flush in the market. What is ARC B chart? No, bro. Have a look. What? I've never heard of that in my life anyway. ETH, I mean, this chart is just bear market PA. I was trading this exact price action in the bear market, to be honest. Like, until something really shifts on ETH, then I wouldn't worry too much about trying to catch a bottom on this. I've been very vocal on the ETH chart for a while now. Basically, form a support, breaks down, rejects, roll over. You get like this parabola build up into it. Again here, sort of like parabola build up, roll over. Parabola build up into that price support area, roll over, parabola build up into the price support area, roll over, right? Until ETH stops doing this, until it stops doing this PA, I wouldn't bother trying to buy or long ETH. If the ETH sort of gets back above 2100, you can look at a big move up on that. I have a charting from blank episode on my channel. You can go and watch that. It's basically got my whole outlook for ETH going into Q2. And sort of what I want to see here. I don't know where my chat bot is. Morning, bro. How's it going? I want to see this this participant get flushed out, to be honest. If that that would have been a nice short. If that flow was sort of into that developing day value or low, we could have taken a short on it, but I think we probably do a little bit of a flush here, take them out, and then we can look to long maybe. If we start to get like a bit of a flush and break down, we can look for a little reversal. But I don't, like I said, I'm not expecting much today in this New York session. It's been sort of the same trend all week that New York is fairly flat, so I wouldn't be surprised to just see some ranging for New York into pre-close. Maybe we start to see a reversal. So my commands work. Let's see. Spent ages trying to set them up, and they do not. We're strong today. Let's have a look. IP and Bearer, yeah. I mean, once we bottom, I think these are probably two of the best picks for the market, to be honest. Like, you got two of the most shiniest, newest coins in the market, and both have been holding pretty well, to be honest. I think if we start to get some decent sort of risk on conditions again, we see a nice rally from them both. Yeah, Bearer's a bit kind of under res here, but it's also been strong. Like, it's been literally up only since BTC's been ranging. Perhaps market waiting for April 2 tariff announcement. Yeah, potentially. There's potential of that for sure. Like a little bit of risking off into that. He hasn't spoke on tariffs for a while now. Yeah, basically, if Bearer can flip $9, I'm pretty convinced it goes to 15. To be honest, if it flips here, pretty sure it goes for like $15. Bearer. Yeah, IP looks pretty good. Quite a nice sweep here. Quite a nice sweep on IP. Similar sort of thing, right? Whereas Bearer's got this resistance above. And I just in range for now. That bounce, yeah, that's off this morning. So I mean, yeah, it's up 9% on the day. Despite it's up 2% today, sorry. It's up 9% from the lows, apologies. And yeah, we dumped off weekly daily open, didn't we? So yeah, despite BTC basically dumping all morning, BTC's been dumping since this morning, yeah. IP has managed to sustain a bounce, so that's a pretty good sign, to be honest. I think IP and Bearer are very good bets for upside when the market gets some nice risk on conditions for sure. Should start to try and take this guy out now. Blocking the surely this guy capitulates soon. Probably already closing a bit out. How's everyone's week anyway? Has everyone had a good week? Hopefully not many people got wrecked on this drop. I kind of want to try and take a long, like, I feel like we can take a, if we start to see signs of a bottom, like around this 84k region, we can try and take a long into the weekend on BTC. I mean, this ain't a great look, to be honest. This S&P 500 chart, it's not a good look. Like, that deviation above 5700 is not ideal. Yeah, probably some risking off into tariff announcements, realistically. Bit of relief, like after being like 10% down off the highs, and we bounced like, yeah, 5% off the lows, 6% off the lows on the S&P, so it makes sense. But yeah, that deviation's not ideal, to be honest. Been in stables for quite a bit now. Yeah, nice one. I've also been in stables since about December, really. Like, I've been buying in and out. Here we go. We're starting to flush this guy now. Start to flush this guy now. You see large open interest starting to peel off. But this is what I was saying at the start of the stream, right? People are just getting like punished. Like, longs are just getting punished. They long and there's just no momentum, there's no follow through, things just go again. It's not really the best environment to try long unless you see a massive amount of shorts trapped into the lows, which we haven't really been getting because we haven't even really been getting much of a bounce. Yeah, been buying spot here and there, but mostly not for long term, you know, like sort of intra-week sort of stuff. I've been waiting to pile back into spot since December really, and I think we get like 73 again. That is the place to do it. One, because of the importance of holding into low 70s now, because if we don't hold into low 70s, then we're going to be pretty cooked, to be honest. So the idea of buying when people were going to be very, very fearful, along with buying when it's almost the last level of support before things start looking very bad. Yes, 72, 76 is good. I have some BTC spot limits at 73. How's CRV looking? I'll have a look, Mark. Let's take a look. I actually saw it was strong. I asked Impulse back the other day. I think he said that potentially it had some narrative around it due to all this stablecoin stuff going on at the moment. Which could make sense. Close some of these. Let's close them. Oh, there's my night block. It's finally woken up. I don't know what. So I presume this is going to be a lot of this OI that's started to peel off is that big participant that I was talking about. So realistically, we could have traded against that guy for maybe like a 0.4% stop, but for me, not into so much of a significant level, this 84k. But yeah. You can see this huge OI delta, and eventually gets traps offside and we start to flush out. So now we've flushed that guy out, we can maybe look at some reversals if some longs, some shorts try to chase down there. CRV. Yeah, look at that. Huge amount of longs getting wiped again. This is probably those guys are exiting. Probably was a pretty nice short, but take 0.6% move. It's not bad. Trading view is so slow, oh my god. It's not a bad weekly level for CRV here, to be honest. Kind of a must-hold area for it. Like if CRV fails to hold here, it could get ugly. Yeah, not a bad place. I mean, been strong lately, but I think strength is the stronger coins are showing their hand at the moment, especially on this recent drop, right? Like I was just discussing, like IP and Bearer. Those two clearly showing their strength. Move is also pretty strong on the day. CRV doesn't look bad, I have to admit, but you'd kind of want to see it continue to hold this 0.4 area for some continuation. Move chart kind of reminds me of altcoin, to be honest. I think Move has got potential for a good squeeze. Kind of reminds me of like pre altcoin squeeze PA. You know, get this break out of the range and it probably squeezes to like 0.8 area. Yeah, like Move, IP, Bearer. Again, look, Move on the day, pretty strong off the lows. Like despite BTC trading down today, like Move is it's bounced 6%. And again, these are the ones you want to sort of like long as beta, right? So if we start to decide that BTC is bottoming, then we look at long in these stronger performers, right, as like a beta. Like there's a good chance if BTC sort of bounces into the 2% region, these alts like Move, IP, Bearer, they're probably going to do 5 to 10%. Right, this is why we use the spaghetti chart. Right, we can already see that here. Right, top of the spaghetti, Move, IP, Bearer. It's on the 1 minute. Right, you go on the 30-minute. And see what else is strong on the day since this morning. Some meme coins are quite strong today. Also, it's been chilling this a little bit. Maybe we can go 82 here, to be honest. Like 82, 800. We're kind of in the middle of no man's land now. Like ever since we sort of lost 84. Like if we trap here, if we can trap here and we get above 84 again, then maybe I think we can look at longing towards like 86 probably. But until then, I probably won't look at longs. I think it's going to trade down to like 83k now. Back down towards like the developing monthly value area low. think that seems like the most logical spot. If we don't bounce from here, we're going to go to like 83. So I would like to see a little bit of a trap down here. Be nice. Really getting much shorts down here though. I think a lot of shorts have exhausted, which again is a good sign. How do people still have money to long on perps? People have infinite pocket, don't they? It seems like. I don't think I discussed the 2024 value high, but this is also pretty important for us. This 2024 value high, I think for me, we can still break under here and reclaim and remain bullish, right? But what we want to be careful is that if we don't do something like this, like if we sweep under the 2024 value high and we sort of like stall under here, then I think we're kind of cooked. So if we do go for that sweep and into that 73k where I want, then we can do something like that. Again, we need to lose here first. Overall, basically, you know, higher time frame, I remain to be very bullish as long as we continue to hold this region. As long as we hold this whole area here, we're fine. No need to be scared. Just waiting for the right moment to pile into spot, to be honest. Just the downtrend's been relentless, really. Has been. See. Need a big old spark in the market for something to shift. Sentiment to shift, I don't know. Need to get a template or something. Let's see, we start getting above 84k, then maybe I'll be inclined in a long. We can get back above the prior weekly VWAP. Probably also 84,300. 11-day value or low, I think. If you guys have any chart requests, feel free to send them in. We can look whilst we're waiting. AVAX. AVAX altcoin. I don't know why the chat is not disappearing. I haven't looked at this chart in a while, to be fair. More longs coming in. I'd actually be tempted to try and short if these guys get offside here into this 2-day value area high. It's from back in back over the weekend. That's the value area high from or maybe before the weekend. Challenger count up soon. Your challenge account going. I got funds on it. Just need to start it. And I've got it synced up to terminal as well because I've been testing on it. I was using it when I first started going to terminal just to do some like paper traded stuff. Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at AVAX, wasn't I? Monthly on AVAX ain't looking great, to be honest. I mean, you've got pretty much a big old monthly downtrend as of right now. Maybe into like April and May that we could see like an attempt at another lower high, and then depending on the reaction there, maybe flip there, then big breakout. Potential that it's just like a kind of one big monthly flag, right? On AVAX. Into maybe like quite a big monthly support. So this whole area is kind of place for AVAX to hold on here. So, you know, maybe with the idea that BTC is going to rally into May, that AVAX could do something like this on the monthly, back towards like 36. At least as long as it holds above 20, I think things are fine. Maybe if it goes for like a little sweep or something on the weekly, but on the monthly, I think as long as it holds above here, it looks fine. Good long AVAX 1983. Weekly open retest plus value or a high of previous small range. Yeah, I mean it's just retracing the Sunday move here. I don't think you know, it kind of needs to hold here, as I was saying. I mean, on the monthly, you know, fine, wants to continue to hold here, but even on the lower time frame, I think, you know, after a reclaim like this, like around a higher time frame level, right? It's had a pretty nice reclaim. Like realistically, you'd want to see it continue from here. If it starts to deviate, if it fails to hold here and gets stuck underneath, it's probably going to target all these lows and then maybe even a new low down here. So logically, you would want to see hold it, right? Okay, so let's head and shoulders. Monthly don't look bad. Big old bar. Someone asked about altcoin. Altcoin looks pretty nice into 0.42, 0.4. Quite a nice area for it. Back into that region. I mean, obvious retest for it, right? we go again. Pushing the longs out. Not a place to be long in yet, to be honest. Especially in this New York session. Just kind of expected more chop in New York. Maybe look at taking a long towards the back end of New York Open. New York session into pre-close. Right, it's kind of been getting some movement towards like the end of the session into pre-close. Some directional movement. Flow look. Flow data. Yeah, the reclaim on 84 can be good. I think like if we get a little reclaim on 84, then maybe we can look at a long. Back towards that 86. I mean, probably first target this imbalance. Until we get sort of back above this previous weekly VWAP, I don't think you should want to be looking at longs here. I think maybe we even look at trying to take a short there, to be honest. Into 84, 128. So if we put that on the chart. Area. Baden. See. No, you don't really know with flow, like you sort of just react to what you see in real time. Like you can sort of say, oh, if it does this, then I'll take a position, or if it does that, I'll take a position. But like the thing is with flow, you're reacting to people also reacting in real time, so you're using other people's like instincts to trade, right? Like their actions, like you're acting upon their actions basically, and like you don't know what they're gonna do until they do it. So I'd like to say let's look for a short into here, but you know, something else might happen that makes me want a long. But you know, until then, I think we do look for like a short into like here for a fade. I think that seems like a logical trade right now. Like prior weekly view up and look at a move down towards the prior weekly vow at 83k. 82,930, but you know, as I've been saying, we haven't really been getting much movement. We haven't been getting much movement in New York session lately, so 2,930. Yeah, I think we look for like a short, realistically at this point, like short into here, target down here. Whoa. The tool on this is so sorry, I don't know if you guys could see. Basically look for like a short into here, target the prior weekly val down here. Oh my god. ETH is so cooked, man. It's cooked. Fucking cooked. This just looks like destined to waterfall lower, to be honest. Alright, I'll give it another 5 minutes. And see if we get any movement. If not, we can call that a stream. I like to try and catch a trade on this, but it's not convinced with New York session. But all right, I'll give my thoughts and summary on the market here. Start. All right, so I think it makes sense for price to hold here for now, at least. 84k to sort of low to 83k seems like a logical place for a reversal, or at least a bit of a relief bounce. You know, BTC's been stuck in this downtrend for a while now, and has been rejecting almost every time, and hasn't really had an attempt at sort of like breaking above one of these like structured downtrends. And this was the first one we've seen, right, with the downtrend where BTC has actually made an attempt at trying to break out above this area. So you can almost imagine that if we did attempt to break out and we lock in this deviation, like if we really struggle to hold this 84k region and we get trapped under here, I'm pretty sure this deviation leads to fresh lows for BTC. Not something I'm personally scared of, but something I will look to capitalize on if we get a sweep down that low, like into 76 to 73. I think this is an optimal place for like long-term spot buys again, with an invalidation under 66. If we don't hold like sort of into this region and bounce, then I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing like, you know, pretty much a bear market. I think for like bullish continuation, we basically need to hold into low 70s. If we deviate here, right? For now, we have to assume that this area is going to hold. You know, support is support until proven otherwise. The other cases, obviously we have to consider what the S&P is doing. Again, this is not the best price action, to be honest. This is now actually like deviating. I can almost imagine that if, you know, this continues to sell off, BTC is going to do a similar thing and put in that similar deviation, following by a move to the downside. 73 is the place to bid. If we can't hold 84, I'm pretty sure we're going to go down there. But for now, I think it makes sense to maybe look for some longs into 83. Anywhere from the current prices to 83 looks like a place to look for some relief. back towards 86, and then probably from there look for fresh thoughts to target lower again. Overall expecting, you know, maybe a bottom into early April, and then rally in April going into May, putting in new highs for BTC, and then chopping for summer. I think that's sort of my rough outlook, is that we do something like this rally for April into May, new highs, chop for summer, back end of summer, leg up again. I think that's the ideal scenario for me right here. And that's as long as we sort of hold into that 73k region. But overall, like, there's definitely signs that things are like starting to shift. We started to see some decent flows into altcoins again. When news is coming out, we're starting to see some good reactions in the market to when news is released. So that's always a positive. The way, you know, price action reacts to news is a good idea for like risk appetite in the market. So I think that's all coming back. I think one more sweep to like 73 would be the absolute lowest we can go. But I think it's entirely possible, especially if we lock in this deviation now above 84. And we're going to go to new lows. Looks like we're not going to get that push. We're again just punishing any longs that open and then end up closed. So we'll call that a stream. Might be live again next Friday. I'm not sure. Am I gonna at least do these every other Friday, and then maybe some random scalping streams now and then once I get the setup completely sorted. It's obviously a little bit of a mess at the moment, screen, but yeah, appreciate everyone stopping by. If you did, chat requests and things, make sure you check out the socials below. Leave a like and all that stuff. We'll try and do these as much as possible. I mean, they're quite time consuming. It took me here like, you know, an hour to set everything up and get the screen ready, recording the right applications, things like that. So yeah, I hopefully will see you guys next week. Bye bye.